What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video in our tag mixer package series. Hey, sorry for the short hiatus. I think it's been like a week and a half or something like that. Sorry, I've been very busy on a lot of multiple projects at the same time and been really trying to work my way back to add more videos to this series. Because remember, guys, I really want to actually submit this to the WordPress repository when it's finished, and then you guys can download it through there, and then I can actually maybe in the screenshots and all show examples of like, hey, here's how I built this. Go take a look. And hopefully teaches us all something about how to submit stuff to WordPress org. Anyway, let's just jump right back in. The last video, we had just got done adding a section to add rules to a package set. And a couple of things here that we need to address. A couple of like little graphics things that are really bothering me. Like, for example, when we make a change, like say we're going to edit and then we click update, it doesn't come back with this one opened. It comes back with this one opened. That's really irritating to me. That's one thing we're going to address. I'll show you how to do that real quick. I'll kind of do it longhand too, just to give you an example of how it works and how it works in Bootstrap. Then also we're going to add two fields. We're going to add a field underneath in the edit. Underneath here for deletion, there's going to be a drop down that says, do you wish to delete this tag mixer package? Instead of having to make a whole different form with a deletion on it, what we're going to do is just allow the user to select yes, and then in the update button in this field section, it will actually delete it, because we need to create a deletion as well. And then in the current tag mixer package settings, we're going to create another form up here that says import rules from which one, and it's essentially going to copy this existing drop down here to right here, and the user can click that, and then it will update all the rules and package settings into here. Now I'm going to try to keep this video under 10 minutes, and by just doing the graphics side. So let's just start with the expansion and contraction of the collapses. For anybody that's not familiar with Bootstrap, or, you know, I mean, this whole series has been based on Bootstrap, so anyway, Bootstrap doesn't really, so it could fool you, and in fact, I could have fooled you previously by saying to you that when you're looking at the collapses, let me just go ahead and word wrap this. The aria expanded being true. Okay, this is mostly for screen readers. I remember in a previous video I might have said like you need to set this to true and false. I'm wrong about that. Bootstrap doesn't really care about that. It really cares about this right here, down in the collapse one, collapse show. You see, this is where we're looking at the first accordion, right? We're looking at this one that's open right here. That's because if you look, it says collapse show. Okay, and if you scroll down to the next one, it just says collapse. Okay, straightforward. So whichever one has collapse show is going to be the one that's open. Well, how do we know which one to open? Well, that's very fortunately easy for us, because every time a user selects one of our fields, like this one or this one, submits a form, it sends an action through. Remember, we're setting an action. So all we have to do is really read the action, determine what the action is, and then set the class to whichever one we want to show. So let's just jump right into that. So here's how we're going to do that. Right up here in our PHP, right before it ends. I could do this up above, because up above we're going to have an action selector as well that determines what the user is doing. But let's just say change which collapse is open, cased, based on action. All right, so we're going to say if, and actually let's make three variables. Let's just call this expand one, make it equal to nothing. And like I said, guys, sometimes I do things longhand because I just want to express, here's how you do this, here's how you do this, here's how you do this. And if you see it in its overall form code, you can shorten it down, change it, flip it around, whatever Daft Punk says, right? Copy it, paste it, click it, expand it, whatever. You can do whatever you want to do with it. But I'm just going to show you how to do it this way. So if we get the get variable, in this case it's going to be action, and then the action equals nothing. Okay, in this case, when a user submits the first action, or like the first class, I'm sorry, not the class, the first form, as you can see, there's no action inside of not this action. Remember, it's a hidden field that we call action that sends the URL. When we're adding a new field, we don't have it send an action in this case. So if it's nothing, it's going to open the first box by default. So it's going to say the user added something. And also by here, we could set a user message to a global message that says like, hey, you successfully added an item and here's its ID or something like that, which I may do. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to say expand one equals show. And then what we're going to do, I hope you guys can see where this is going, because it should be pretty simple. Then guess what we're going to do here? Expand 2 equals show. And we're going to echo these variables below, right? Pretty simplistic, I hope. Oh yeah, we have to put action into that one though, don't we? We have to say if the action equals. Now, what action is going to be submitted on the second form? Well, if we go down and we take a look at collapse 2, that's the class we're dealing with, and we see that the action equals, the action equals update. So if the action equals update, and actually it's 2 equals, by the way, duh, expand 2 equals show. Now we're going to set one for the third one here in just a second, but in this case I just want to show you. So if we go back here and we say edit an existing package, like say that I just change it to like Facebook or something, and I hit update this package. Let's see, action, update. Oh, that's right, I didn't actually echo it out. Sorry about that. So instead of the first one being show by default, we actually need to remove this. That's me being stupid, not even echoing out the variable. And then what we need to do is we need to echo out, guess what we're going to echo? Expand 1. So if there's nothing, this will say show, right? But if it's the action is update, that'll be nothing. But down here in this class, if we just hit a space and throw it in there and we change it to expand 2, what's going to happen right here in the second collapse? Well, because there's an action of update right now, and we just updated it to FB name, let's just change the source back to Google AdWords, and we update the package again. You see, we now have it expanded. So we just updated the traffic back to AdWords, and now it's expanded in the second item. So that's very quickly a fast overview of Bootstrap and how you expand and close items. And so we're going to do this for item number 3 as well, but we actually need to do a little bit of form building. So in the second form, what I want to do is down at the bottom, before the user submits the form for update this package right here, I actually want to create a double horizontal rule, not a JR, and I want to give the user the option of a drop down. So we're going to go ahead and just steal in this one right here, and we're going to take out everything in the select. We're going to leave that first option, and now we have that. Okay, so let's just call this, let's say delete package keys, or we're going to name this or something like that. And we're going to put that in the source, and then we're going to say that that's what it's for. And then right here, we're going to say delete this source or something like that, or delete this package. Okay? And actually, I want to make this strong. I want the user to know, like, this is a serious action that you're taking here, and you need to be very careful with this because they cannot go back. And we maybe should even write cannot be undone, you know. Maybe put it in like this. Be undone, because I'm not saving this data anywhere. I'm not backing it up, so this cannot be undone. So by default, it's no. And in fact, we will put that in there and say default. And it will never do it unless the user selects yes. So now let's make a yes and just say be sure before you do this. Okay. So now what we've done is we've created another little form group. Let's go ahead and just refresh the page, since it's just going to keep updating it with Google AdWords, but it already is Google AdWords. All right, perfect. So now we have a delete this package, this cannot be undone. Now, why did I do it this way? Well, if I didn't do it this way, because this is a single form with a single submit button and a single, I don't know, like it's the way it's being submitted, I would have to create a secondary form or like a different way to submit this versus just doing it right here. So the user can update, do this, and then if they say delete this package, they can select yes, and it will delete this package. But in most cases, the user is going to say no, so it won't affect any of their prior information. All right, perfect. So we're done with that, and we're going to go ahead and code that in the next video, deleting the custom posts and all that. That's too much for this video. It'll be way too long. So let's move down into the current tag mixer settings, and in here we want to go ahead and add that drop down that contains this same package information so that a user can select it, hit update this package, and then it pulls in all of its rules. Then we can start modifying. Because as you guys remember in the last video, we made it like main heading. Let's see. We made it so the user could, just something like this, they could see what happened below. They can put in rules, and then what's going to happen is it's going to create a huge rule set of images they want to change, fonts they want to change, background colors they want to change, blah, blah, blah. And they can also manually write in here their own JavaScript rules as well. And then when the package gets met and the page is the right page, it goes ahead and activates all these rules, etc., etc. So let's go ahead and add that last part, and that's where we'll wrap up the video. So here's what we're going to do. Back over here, we're going to head to the top. This is before the form, so before that first form here, okay? we're going to go ahead and add a new form. Now the thing is this is echoing the current page, but it doesn't have a action. We might add an action. I'm still debating. And also, I want it to go below the text to start setting up your new tag mixer packages. Oh, let's see. I put that inside of the form on this one. I may pull this text here, I may pull that outside of the form so that both forms end up inside it. You're about to see what I mean in just a second. All right, so let's go ahead and just create a new form real fast. There's going to be two forms right here. So the first form, this one is going to have the same thing, an action of nothing, and it's going to have a method of get. Then we're going to go back to the old trusty get method on this one. So here's what we're going to do here. It's going to contain two hidden fields. It's going to contain one hidden field right here, which is the page. As usual, we always have to have that to be able to echo back to where we started. And for people that don't know about this, watch my last videos, every video I've ever made where I explain this every single time without fail, because I keep having to explain it. I don't know any better way. But just know that you have to echo the page back in order for it to come back. Then I just went up and stole some code for our action. And I want the action here to equal get the rules. All right. Now, what do you think is going to go right here? We can just go right up and take it from right here. This is where it's getting the existing mixer packages. We're going to just grab this right out of here and do the same exact thing. All we want to do is get the existing mixer packages and output them on the page. But we do have to have a different name for them. So we're going to say something like select package to load rules from. Okay, and we're going to say package rules to edit, just like something like that. And then that way when the page sends through, we'll be able to get it, load it, and then load its rules in. So let's go ahead and do a little refresh. And you know what? Maybe I will horizontal rule this as well. Let's go ahead and refresh and see what we get. And actually, I don't want to refresh. I want to revisit the page. I don't want to keep making that thing edit and edit and edit. So let's take a look. Oh, we don't have a button, do we? Let's go ahead and add a button real quick as well. Take this button. We're just going to go ahead and copy the button from here. And it's going to be a submit type. Let's just make this a warning button. How about that? And then we're going to say load in package. In package rules. All right, things are shaping up real nice here. We're about ready to add some serious logic to this thing and start making it work. So now we have a small mix of little upgrades that we just went ahead and made. It's going to make our lives a lot easier. So in the next video, what we're going to do, because I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up right here, because I think I'm already at like 12 or 13 or 14 minutes or something, and I want them to be as close to 10 minutes as possible. Okay. So what do? Well, we made it so that when the actions are taken and the page reloads, the user will go, or it will open the correct box. In fact, we have one more to do. Both of these. When a user submits this form and submits this form, it will load in option 3. I might even just do that real fast, or I'll do it in the next video. But it'll be an else if for action equaling add the rules or update the rules, are the two buttons we have below. And if the action equals either of those, expand 3 needs to show. So we'll do that in the next video. But you get the point. And so it would open this one by default. Once the user clicks this, and see it's loading in the packages, and then we hit load package rules. At this point it won't do anything. It'll just refresh to the same page with it in the URL. So it just says action get the rules. And so, man, it really bothers me. I really want to actually put that in. I hate that. It's bothering me too much. I have to put it in. I'm sorry. I really wanted to end the video there, but I just can't bring myself to do it. I just want to say action because I want you guys to be able to see it. Okay, get the rules. I just could not do it. I'm sorry, I had to be able to show it. Expand 3 equals show, and then down here we can just copy right out of the other one where we just did it right here for expand 2. Take it down to the third expand right here, this collapse, and do expand 3. Okay, sorry, now you're going to see the third one expand by default. Okay, so we just loaded in, now we're in the third one, and then it would have loaded its package rules. Alright, so now I'm going to wrap it up. So what we did on this video real quick is we just learned how to, I just showed you how to expand by default bootstrap collapse classes based on an action, a user action, to tap different parts of your settings on the fly. We added a package load rules from section, which is just a new form kind of nested in the same form area. And then we added a delete this package to our update section so that we can delete this package. Because really the next two videos, what we're going to do, next few, is we're going to make these rules actually update into the database as a metadata, and set up a huge set of rules based on metadata. And then we're actually going to go maybe edit and put some out in the footer just so we can see it working, and then add a whole bunch of more of these JavaScript features, make the deletion work, things like that. So anyway, hey, sorry it was such a long break. And for anybody who hasn't subscribed, subscribe, will you? And for anybody who is subscribed, I appreciate you. I'm almost to 500. That's a big thing for me. I remember being excited about 100, and I'm almost to 500 now. So I hope you guys are learning from it, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.